I think most of us, deep down, we want to leave a legacy. We want to feel like our life actually mattered. But what if the whole way we've been taught to think about building that legacy is completely upside down? Let's dig into a totally different way of looking at it. So, just for a second, think about it. When you hear that word legacy, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it, I don't know, your name on a building, a best-selling book, maybe some huge public achievement? Go ahead, get that picture clear in your mind. Okay, let's be honest. For a lot of us, the image we just thought of is something like this, right? It's big, it's flashy, it's a total highlight reel moment. We're kind of conditioned to believe that a real legacy is forged in the spotlight, that it comes from those few huge wins that everyone sees and claps for. But here's the thing. According to the source material for this explainer, that idea, that legacy is only built on those big, spectacular moments, is really just an illusion. And it's a dangerous one that can cause some very real problems for us. Chasing those big moments creates this massive expectation gap. And that gap, well, it often leads to burnout. And I'm not talking about the I worked too many hours kind of burnout. This is different. This is the emotional exhaustion that comes from pouring your heart and soul into doing the right things day in and day out and not seeing the immediate flashy results you thought you were supposed to get. So really, that gap shines a light on this core conflict that we all have to deal with. This constant tug of war between making a real, long-term impact and just chasing short-term immediacy. Let's break that down. It's like a tale of two mindsets. On one side, you have immediacy. This is all about optics. How do things look right now? It lives for applause and it demands quick, obvious results. But on the other side, you've got impact. This is about quiet obedience to your purpose, being a good steward of the influence you have, and building something that lasts, even if you don't see the results for years. So, if we stop keeping score based on optics and applause, what do we replace that with? I mean, we need a completely different scoreboard for what success actually looks like, right? Well, our source point says to this scripture as the ultimate measuring stick. And notice something really important here. It doesn't say, well done, good and successful servant, or good and famous servant. The one word that changes everything, the entire pivot point, is faithful. What this means is we have to shift our focus from counting stats, the likes, the sales figures, the promotions, and instead focus on stewardship. The new scoreboard isn't about what we accumulate. It's about how well we manage the influence, the relationships, and the responsibilities we've already been given right here, right now. And when you start focusing on faithfulness, a few really powerful principles emerge. The idea that true leadership isn't just one big event. It's your influence, compounded day after day over time. That your faithfulness today is literally the soil where all your future success, your fruitfulness, will grow. It's choosing to be aligned with your purpose over just trying to go faster. And it's always, always choosing obedience over optics. Okay, I know this can all feel a little bit abstract. So to make this crystal clear, let's dive into a story that shows exactly what this kind of legacy looks like in the real world. So imagine this. You're starting a new job, and your new boss, well, they're not some big shot industry celebrity. They don't have a huge social media following. They're not giving TED Talks. By all the world's typical standards, this person seems, pretty ordinary. But here's what this guy did day in and day out. These were his legacy actions. He always showed up early. He made a point to greet people by their name. He actually listened way more than he ever spoke. And when things went wrong, he led with grace. See? Nothing for the highlight reel. Just daily, consistent, faithful stewardship of his role. And here's where it gets amazing. The payoff wasn't immediate, but over the years, the impact became undeniable. You could look around the company at all the strongest, most effective leaders, and they all had one thing in common. They all traced their real growth, their development, back to the influence of this one quiet man. His faithfulness was the seedbed for all of their fruitfulness. And that's the punchline. That is the whole idea in a nutshell. He wasn't trying to build a personal brand. He was busy building people. He wasn't chasing a legacy. He was living one through his daily faithful practice. So, that's a great story. But how do we take this idea and actually start living it out? How do we move from just understanding it to building it into our own lives? Well, it really starts internally, with the story you tell yourself every day. The source suggests making this a personal affirmation, saying it out loud. It's about getting your own mind right, declaring that your small daily disciplines are not insignificant. In fact, they are the very building blocks of the lasting impact you're going to make. And here's your practical takeaway, your coaching challenge. First, I want you to identify one small daily habit that you do, something you've probably dismissed as totally insignificant. Maybe it's how you say good morning to your family or the way you start a meeting. Second, recommit to doing that one little thing with excellence and with gratitude. And finally, number 3, shift your focus. Ask yourself this question: who, right now, is being shaped by my consistency in this one small thing? I just think this is such a powerful and honestly an empowering idea. A legacy isn't some prize you win or something you're just handed. It's a conscious act of construction, built piece by piece, day by day, through all your small, faithful actions. And so we're going to end on this final thought. The truth is, your legacy isn't something that starts in the future. It's already in motion. You are building it right now with every single choice you make. The only question left to ask is, are you stewarding it on purpose?
Want to start your week with power, peace, and purpose? Join the Affirm Your Greatness community, where faith meets mindset, all for just $9 a month or $50 a year. This is your space to speak life, grow boldly, and walk in God's promises. Affirm your greatness, speak life, live boldly.
Now available on Amazon.com. Unlock the transformative power of positive affirmations with this essential guide by certified personal development coach and motivational speaker, Dennis of DennisMotivates.com. In Affirm Your Greatness, you'll discover the science behind affirmations and learn how to craft personalized affirmations that resonate with your unique journey. Get your copy today. Find the link in the description. Thanks.